in case you guys want to see the graph with the new calculations, I'll give you a second to take a picture here, and then we can move on. So question 2. The poinsettia is a wildflower native to Mexico. It was almost unknown in the U.S. until the Ecke family began selling them in the early 1900s from their flower stand in California. A member of the Ecke family discovered a grafting process that resulted in a much thicker and more colorful poinsettia plant, which became hugely popular at Christmas. The Ecke family did not attempt to patent the grafting process, but instead managed to keep the process a secret for many decades, and so maintained a monopoly on the commercial production of poinsettias for all those years. Eventually, a university professor figured out the grafting technique and published it in an academic journal. What do you think happened to the price of poinsettias after the publication of that article, and why? And our junior tutor said, as the university professor makes known the grafting technique and publishes it in an academic journal, more people would now be interested in producing or grafting poinsettias. Once the production process became known, many producers of an in-demand product would have emerged, causing an increase in the supply of the product. When supply increases with no change in the demand of the product, there is a fall in the equilibrium price of the product and an increase in its equilibrium quantity. So what they're referring to, which are supply and demand graph here, we've got Q on the x-axis, P on the y-axis, supply slopes up, demand slopes down. The point where they intersect is the equilibrium. We will call that P star and Q star. Now everybody already wants these poinsettias for Christmas, but there's only been one place to get them. Now that everybody can make them, the supply is going to increase. So that is characterized by a shift right in the supply curve. As a result, we would see a lower price and a higher equilibrium quantity. And this is characteristic of moving from a monopoly to perfect competition. In a monopoly, so I guess the Ecke family had this huge barrier to entry. And it was an informational barrier to entry. Nobody else knew how to make the product they had. And so as a result, they were able to have a monopoly. Once this barrier to entry was removed by the professor figuring out how to make this poinsettia, it moved to a perfect competition because now everybody can make poinsettias, and one poinsettia is not going to be terribly different from another poinsettia. So people wouldn't have been able to charge a huge difference in prices for them. And eventually, as things globalized, everybody would become price takers.